What's up, good people? Uh, I'm coming to you. It's been a minute since I made a video, but I wanted to come to you today and do a little video about genetics, or pretty much just the E1b1a, where people I get the Hebrews, or some of the Hebrews are claiming that due to the E1b1a, that proves that they are from the line of Abraham or whatever, that they are the Shemitic people. But I mean, what's crazy is that Shem, Ham, and Japheth all had the same dad, which means his Y chromosome would be passed to every last one of them, to every last one of them, to every last one of them. And so, therefore, their sons would also get that same gene, their sons, until, I mean, the mother of a Hebrew mother started mating with a man of a different race or a different haplogroup or whatever to change the haplogroup or whatever. It's like me and my brothers. Me and I got two brothers, and we got uh, I, two other brothers with three different mama with two other daddies, and so therefore their haplogroup could possibly be different from mine, and so therefore I mean that we can all trace back to a different tribe or whatever you want to call it, from wherever they try and make these haplogroups originate into or whatever. So therefore, uh, I got some information. First of all, the haplogroups. Let me see something. I just to show you. I These are the Y-DNA groups and the haplogroups or whatever that they belong to. And as you can see right here, I pretty much sorted this into ascending order where it has the greatest percentage, And if you look all the way over here to the left, it'll tell you the people who have these percentages. Now, there's a high percentage of Arabs who have the E1b1b, and the highest percentage of the E1b1a comes from Arabs. Comes from Arabs. And people will be wondering why. I mean, because all these people claiming this E1b1a. I mean, and as you can see, these are very small percentages. I mean, the E1b1 A does not have like a large group, a large haplogroup. They are very small, and most of them, like I said, are look. Arabs, and then you might get some Egyptians, and I guess there's going to be, the Hebrews claim that they went into Egypt or whatever, but if they was mixing of the races, then that's how you get this. But the major point that I want to show is that you had the Arab slave trade before you had the Atlantic slave trade. And as you can see right here, the numbers state that about 17 million people were sold into slavery on the coast of the Indian Ocean, which also would fit Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And it happened first. But they don't want they don't want to claim that when they claim the one in America or whatever. But this one happened first. Actually, the Portuguese slave trade of them taking Africans from Africa up into Europe happened before then. So, but I didn't want to go back that far because we straight up talking about that A1B1A, and so it would seem that let me show you the slave routes from the Arab, the trans-Saharan or Arab slave trade, right? They was coming down all up and through here, taking Africans. And guess what? Look, I mean, all of this up in here, all the way over into here, which probably will be considered Egypt or whatever. And they were taking slaves. And then, come on, you know that what they were doing, they were raping the women and et cetera, et cetera. And now here you go, and you take those people and you mix it with these people here that they have taken slaves and been raping and doing whatever. Now you have E1b1a mixture into the African people, because it's proven that all of these areas down up in here of Africa, the land of Ham, and Shem. Let me show you. No, 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 no. Where am I? There it is, right there. The land of Ham and Shem. You see everything going from up over here in Egypt and over to this right, which is pretty much Iran and all that kind of stuff, which would be the Arabic or Arab people. And from Ham all the way, all of this over here, it's going to be pretty much Africa and Egypt and all that kind of stuff. And so when they claim that they fled into this, they fled into mostly E1b1b people or whatever. But like I said before that, you get the Arabics, who are, the largest haplogroup of the E1b1a people, who took the Africans as slaves. And once again, the Y chromosome is only passed to the son. It's only passed to the son. So, I mean, I understand how women can trace their genetics back or whatever, but it's, they have to go through their daddy and all that kind of stuff and make sure that he didn't have some kind of offspring or whatever into you to change his haplogroup, because the haplogroup, as I stated, can change on further up or further down the line. Well, I mean, it'll probably be further on down the line, being that, like, wherever you start from can change. I mean, it could even change back. It just depends on who the dad's mom was with. Like I said, so I mean, the genetic markers can pretty much change. And then the E1b1 B people, as you can see over here to the left, is mostly gonna be uh, African people, Afro-Asiatic. And I had to look that up because, I mean, like, the Afro-Asiatic people is a cross between the Asian or the Iranian, or, I mean, those people coming together and pretty much having the same dialect or whatever, mixing together, speaking somewhat of the same language. But when you look over here, as I stated, with these E1b1b people, look, all of the Kushite, I mean, all this people, all this stuff is pretty much Africa. And look at the percentages. I mean, like, look at 100% Berber in Berber, Tunisia, or whatever, and then the Moroccans, Morocco or whatever. Everybody know Morocco ain't really over there. Um, but as you can see, the percentages of these jokers is high. It's high, and it's gonna be real high in those people that are pretty much um, probably having some kind of black in them, as you can say. But these must be some black Greeks right here, right? These paleo, paleo ponies or whatever. I'm not sure. They might be, and then the Southern Greeks, it might be some black people. But other than that, I mean, as you continue to scroll down, you see the percentages, and I'm gonna scroll all the way to the bottom. And right here in this column is where the E1b1b is. So I'm gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom to where it changed. where it's changing. And as you can see, if you look over here to the left again, you get your Russians, Lithuanians, look at it. That's something. The Northern Iranians, they probably more white looking. And look at your Slavics, Dravinians, Northeast Caucasians, and like I said, when you look at this, majority of these cats ain't got no kind of mixture of black in them at all. But my point is that the E1b1a, I mean, like I said, majority of them is Arabics, and so with the or Arab people with the Hebrews claiming that they fled into Africa and was sold off to West Africa and stuff like that. That's the Atlantic slave trade, which happened much later. And then nine times out of ten, by the time that happened, I mean, because everybody know with slavery came a whole bunch of rape and all the and killings and stuff like that, which changed people haplogroups. So ain't nobody finna pretty much trace back to no pure haplogroup. I mean, you probably belong to more than one haplogroup to be exact, but I mean, like just trying to claim it just because it pertains to something biblical that you want to apply to you is stupid. I mean, I understand that with everything that's going on in the world, you want something to apply to you that's gonna make things better, or make you seem like if one day you gonna be able to do these people the way they did us, man. I mean, it's bad, it's sad the way that they did us, man. But that comes with war. People are conquered, people are killed, and pretty much bottom line, that's what happened. Now, it's just plain and simple. I mean, the changing of it, I don't think that's gonna happen. Ain't no God finna come, or no Jesus or nothing like that to change none of this up. These people have put their plan in place, and there's nothing you can do to change their plan. First of all, black people, we don't have a military. And so just the way that they conquered the black Indians, it will be the same way that they keep us conquered. I mean, like with straight up fighting, they couldn't win. I mean, with their swords against bows and arrows and stuff like that, they could not win until they created the gun, and they outgun us. No matter what you say, something gonna have to happen to these guns, and I wonder what's this gonna be. That's gonna change the diversity of things the way it is. I don't think nothing's gonna change. I mean, like hopefully these people just, I mean, like they see that we are humans just like them, give us the same opportunity, but it's a dog eat dog world. They're gonna want their people to be exactly where they are on top. And so therefore, I mean, as long as we're down here, I mean, we gotta get out of the crab in a barrel pretty much mentality or whatever. Stop bringing each other down. I mean, first, and then the biggest thing, we got to get out of this indoctrination state of the book. I mean, you got Hebrews claiming that people, Christians are dumb, but you using the exact same book and no words have changed. No words have changed at all, and it comes from the Roman Catholic. King James was writing a Catholic Bible. He was not writing a Hebrew inspired Bible. He was, I mean, come on, plain and simple. And then, as they state, I mean, like, come on, there was never no Hebrew um, manuscripts found. What you like, the oldest found manuscripts is the Septuagint, and then you have the Latin Vulgate, in which the New Testament is made of from Greek or Greek and Latin. Latin is wrong. I mean, and that's people talking about, well, you get Jesus. I mean, no, you get Jesus because the goddamn Latins. I mean, or the Romans. Spanish speaking people. That's what you get Jesus from. You don't get it. I mean, they mistranslated Joshua, but of course, I mean, you get it from them. You don't get it because nothing else. It's just plain and simple. Like I said, I mean, like if we get out of the indoctrination state, and pretty much, I mean, like I can't even lie. It can be hard to support black business when there's a more competitive market out there. I mean, and it's not bringing black people down and stuff like that as it is just a more competitive market. There's a Walmart. Walmart sell everything, and we know it's not a black business, but it's affordable for us. Just plain and simple. And so, man, how I say, I mean, like with this whole claiming and stuff like that, man, and misleading people, man. I say, uh, I mean, shit, just go back into spirituality or whatever, where you come together and with your family or whatever as your own individual thing, but just try and speak positivity into everybody else. All that, the differences and stuff like that in the religions, man, come on, straight up stupidity. But I did this just to show. I mean, I see people, man, so confused about this stuff, man. But I mean, like they have breakdowns, and then like with DNA testing, man, you can only go so far. I'm sorry, you can only go so far because you can't DNA test about somebody that nobody is found. I mean, so you can't be tied to somebody who does not have a body to be tied to, and then for black people with tracing your lineage back, you're gonna have to know names. You're gonna have to know names. You can't just say you kin to a Davis because your last name Davis. Cause we know all this stuff changed with marriage and all that kind of stuff. And then again, like I said, with the Y, the Y chromosome. And then I mean the whole patriarchal thing is stupid too. I mean you get most of your mama's DNA. So I mean, and she passed that on to both. So but with black people, I mean, like you gotta know who your family is, and then you're not gonna be able to trace back past the early 1800s. You dead. Anybody telling you that they can go back before 1800 is lying to you. I mean, any black people telling you that they lying to you, and then people who telling you they got direct connection to a tribe in Africa, more than likely they came here after the 1800s, and their family has it's been part of their tribe. But anybody who came over here as slaves, or for us that was already here, you're not going to be able to trace anything back. You're not going to be able to trace anything back past 1800. I've tried it. I know I got all the way to 1828. After that, with the census, everything pretty much dies. Everything in the census pretty much dies after 1828. Even though the first census was in 1790, it wasn't as um, detailed. And so I got back to 1828 with my family, and that name did it traced all the way back to the Davis name from on my mother's side. We traced all the way back. On my dad's side, I came to a halt real fast. I mean, because it's like the DNA testing is, I mean, like it started getting faulty when you hit like in the 1800s. I mean, not the DNA testing, but the trying to track your lineage or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't do it through DNA. I did this through the archives of the keep forgetting the name of it, just like that. The census. I went through the census and I tracked them down. Like I was from my grandmother. It showed me her and her parents, and all of them lived together on the census. And then I took her mother, and I found my great matter of fact to like the fifth grandmother. I found her, and then after that, the spelling of the names and all that kind of stuff sort of went crazy too, because I found my grandfather, and his name was Bettany Porter. But I mean, it started like the spelling of the names started going crazy because my grandmother had changed her name. But I mean, I'm gonna just lead this as this. I mean, like, if you claim an E1b1a, more than likely you are a subject of the Arabic slave trade, and then you somehow you got over here. I mean, because and it's all crazy still. Like I said, I mean, with those three slave trades going on at the same time, they said that the Arabics pulled 17 million. We know they try and say that the Atlantic pulled anywhere between 10 and 12 million, and the Portuguese, before they started bringing over to uh, South America or whatever, they would take it straight up to Europe. And so you had all of that going on. And then, not to mention Napoleon in the Congo, where he supposedly had killed like 10 million. I mean, there should be no more Africans, just plain and simple. There should be no haplogroups for you to even be able to trace back to. None whatsoever. But anyway, until next time, I know this joker ain't cut off. It always do this. I gotta find a way to cut this off. I don't know. You mean to tell me you didn't record?